Wales. As I say, he does play rugby. Has played for Glasgow, playing in Meath. He won his first game on the European Tour and beating Colin Lloyd, former world #1, a man you know very well, Rod. Beat him 6-2 with a 98 average. That's not too shabby at all, is it?
No, that's a good performance. A real good performance. Anywhere pushing 100 is first class.
100.
Today we're going to see some great darts and tomorrow, but the exciting thing for me, Dan, is, you know, we have the World Match Play coming up. Next Saturday it starts live on Sky Sports. Tickets are still available. We kind of say every major's, you know, this is going to be the best. But this is going to be the best. You look at all the players that are on board. I mean, any one of... Well, I reckon I could pick 16 out of the 32 that have got the quality to win it. And that's not being detrimental to the other players that can beat anybody.
Yeah, I have to say, looking at it, there are some cracking ties just in the first round. As Gary Anderson looks at 121. Look at this, double 14. Ooh, just misses outside. I mean, you can't pick winners in some of the first round games, let alone going all the way. Oh, look at this Gerwyn Price. How about a 1-3-4?
100.
So close, both these guys, the big finishers in the opening leg. But Gary Anderson, well, double 7 doesn't want to miss inside. He hasn't done, but last start in hand.
14.
Well, Gerwyn Price to hold this throw and go 1-0 up on the #2 seed, and there it is.
Gerwyn Price, second leg, Gary.
Well, 4 darts missed with a double from Anderson. And although he is renowned from years past of being a double misser, just lately he hasn't. It's been one of his strongest parts of his game.
Best finisher in the Premier League, going on the stats. Gerwyn Price, look at this! Oh, here comes Gary Anderson. We've got a game on here, folks.
Well, I think Gary Anderson kind of went, here, how dare you? This is my stage. I hit the 180s.
Oh, Gerwyn Price. He qualified by beating Jim Walker, and Andrew Gilding is a real form player on the tour at the minute. That is quite a scout, has to be said.
Well, Andrew Gilding, you know, he's in the match play, and he is a tough competitor now.
59. Gary requires.
So Anderson to level the match up. May only get a dart at the bullseye. He's just had a look at Gerwyn's score. He does have to go for this, really. So, the ball.
61.
Hits the 25. Now Gerwyn Price, he came close to a ton plus check out in the first leg. 167 would be massive, and it's too massive for him.
77. Gary requires 25.
Double 6. Well, worrying early signs for Gary Anderson.
Yes, okay on the treble 20, but the doubles are a little bit elusive at the moment for Anderson. Gerwyn Price takes out the bullseye on 90 and says to Gary Anderson, keep giving me chances, I'm going to send you packing.
Game on.
Well, he beat Andrew Gilding in qualifying, one of the form players on the tour. He beat a former world #1 in the first round here, his first win on the European Tour. He currently leads 2-0 against a former Premier League champion and a guy who's won 5 titles this year.
135.
They're fighting it out for a place in the last 16. This is going to be against Wes Newton, the #15 seed.
When you've got the scoring power of a Gary Anderson, you know, what you've got to do is you just got to keep plugging away, because you know you're always going to keep giving yourself chances in most legs.
56.
Gerwyn Price over 100 average at the moment, and Gary Anderson on 101, and he's missed all the doubles.
58.
Great first start from Gary Anderson. Be surprised if he didn't stick another one in there.
140.
So he's down to a finish. Gerwyn Price is going to be on a finish himself.
100.
So who can get down to the winning double first. Gerwyn Price trying to get a 3-0 lead.
Surprised Gary didn't go for the 25 there, Dan. Mind you, another one of those ain't going to get him back. Yeah, I'm surprised Gary didn't go for the 25, because another 25 gives him 2 darts on a double. Admittedly, if he hits the treble, he's going to get the 2. Which he is. That leaves double 12. Missed it in the previous leg. Didn't miss it this time. As Gary's expression on his face said it all. A good tidy leg from Anderson. And that was the breaker throw that he needed.
Well, Gerwyn Price, you may not have seen him in action before. I've got all sorts of fun information on Gerwyn Price. We can learn together about him, Rob. Played Super League for Aberbargoed in Wales. Barry Bates convinced him to go to Q School this year. And remembers Barry, he has made appearances on the European Tour this year. Didn't make it through qualifying for this one. Favourite food, Indian?
Can't stand it myself.
Favourite film, Home Alone? I've got all sorts of stuff here on him, Rob. Gary Anderson looking to fill it up and does so. There you go. Second one in the match for Gary Anderson, and after losing the first 2 legs, in a very strong position to level the match up at 2 apiece.
Well, the only thing I know really well about Gerwyn Price is you never see me upsetting him.
That is, I've got to say, I mean, Aaron Monk likes hitting the gym, but Gerwyn Price is on a different level. I don't even know how he can throw darts so reliably when he must be pumping iron a lot.
120.
The difference is, we watched Gary Anderson take this 68 out first, or is he? That's 56 to 16 for double top. To level it up.
28.
Oh, chance here. The difference is that Gerwyn Price started playing darts with that muscle, where Aaron Monk started playing darts, was doing really well, then got in the gym, and I think that's where the difference is, and the problem for Aaron Monk.
Gary Anderson chasing doubles around the board against that double 10, so we are level at 2 apiece, and after a bit of a scrappy start on the doubles for Gary Anderson, he seems to have found his range. And here comes Gerwyn Price, though.
125.
Gerwyn Price, the best runs he's had on the PDC. He's made the last 16 of a couple of tournaments. Hasn't gone any further than that. Can emulate the runs of the last 16 if he can get over the finishing line and beat Gary Anderson here.
Needs to tighten those darts up. You know, Anderson's not going to let him off. And there we have. I mean, although you take the amount of darts that Gary Anderson's missed at a double, I mean, the first 9 dart average is brilliant. But that average overall would be well over 100 if not for the first 2 legs for missed doubles. Gerwyn Price, percentage on doubles, absolutely brilliant. But his first 9 dart average, he's got to step that up, because you know that Gary Anderson, that's the area where Gary Anderson will dominate, and is dominating.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Gerwyn Price. That really could have a massive impact on this leg. If he took another 60 points off that, well, especially when Gary Anderson, 140, will give him a dart at double top, you would think. At least 1 dart if Gerwyn Price doesn't take this 113 out. He needs to get 1 treble. And he's got it.
77. Gary, you require 80.
Well, he's had a poke at ton plus finishes 3 separate times now. Oh, 2 double tops for Gary Anderson.
There you
go, there you go, double finish, the clash of Gary Anderson.
Well, I like it. 3 darts in your hand, you want 82 double tops. Years ago, that would have been seen as rubbing the nose in it.
Times there are changing, Rod. You've just seen Peter Wright bouncing around on stage.
I think we can call that subtle gamesmanship.
Well, Gary Anderson, look at this. Finding his range now. Gary Anderson was, what, 2 out of 11 on his doubles after 4 legs, then he fires in 2 on the trot to win the 5th.
83.
Trouble is, the first one doesn't count to the percentage on doubles, only to the overall average.
Gary Anderson staying on that 20, unable to find the treble, but got a healthy lead in this leg. But Gerwyn Price is eating into it. Plenty of room. Oh, it's another. He's unlucky.
I think the biggest difference in Gary Anderson the last 6 months to, say, a year ago is that a year ago when he was missing doubles, that used to filter into the rest of his game. 2-0 down, he'd be nearly quitting. Now, he's got that enthusiasm back, he's enjoying the game. When he's 2-0 down, he still keeps pounding away. He knows his scoring power is going to keep him in the game. And that's the difference.
Well, this is for a 4-2 lead. Well, Gerwyn Price once again finds himself looking at a big checkout that he probably has to take out, and it's not going to happen. So Gary Anderson will be back to look at double 6 for a 4-2 lead for his 4th leg on the trot. There it is, Gary Anderson. 4 legs on the bounce, and the Flying Scotsman looking very good for a last 16 place to face Wes Newton.
Well, there we have it, the last 4 legs. The 2 17 dart legs are with the throw, and the 2 14s are against.
And that does mean that for Gerwyn, a 15 dart leg in any of the last 4 would have got him the leg. So there were chances there for him.
Absolutely. It's exactly what those stats say. And we talk about, you know, if you're going to win anything, you've got to throw 15 and under. That proves it. But what in Gerwyn's favour is that, you know, he's new to the game. He needs the experience of this big stage. And to be quite honest, he still may go on and win it. I mean, he's got the game, we know that. But that's just the experience. We keep telling the newcomers, you know, you've got to hang in there, you've got to keep going.
He only started playing the game 4 years ago, to be fair. And it's not like he's a teenager, one of these kids who just, like a sponge, they seem to absorb the games and doesn't take much for them to make massive bounds. He's 28 now, he's still a young man, but he's a grown man going to a game for the first time. And within 4 years, he's managed to be on a stage playing Gary Anderson in a tournament with a £20,000 prize. And look at this, Gerwyn Price. Oh, once again, he's threatening to do one of those big checkouts, but it doesn't really matter in this leg because he will be back looking at double top. Gary Anderson, what pressure he's going to be under though. Oh, 180 for Gary Anderson. And there'll be a bit of noise in the hall here. Gerwyn Price, I think he's just taken a moment there, let it die down. Oh, well done, well done.
He's done exactly the right thing there, Dan. He didn't rush to the hockey. The crowd was still noisy with the 180 celebrations, and he took his time. It's a good little bit of experience there. But the one thing from Gerwyn, because of his background of a competitive rugby player, he's not going to give up. You know you're going to see him fighting to the very last dart, where you get a lot of other people, when they start to get battered, they just went, oh, it's one of those days, I'll give up. Not this man. No, he'll be fighting all the way.
Although you see the scoring power of Gary Anderson, 9 131s to Gerwyn's 2, 3 180s to Gerwyn's 1. Lots of steady tons from Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, but the steady tons against people like Anderson and Lewis, those sort of players, they're not enough. You've got to have that 140 count, which is the 131 plus.
Yeah, well, we talked about those 15 dart legs. If you hit a ton in your first 4 visit, you've still got to take 101 check out. And he's threatened to take those ton pluses out, but he's not managed to do any of them. And that's been the reason that he lost 4 legs in the trot there.
You're exactly right.
You've got to hit some 140s, or you've got to take a big finish out. It's one or the other.
Yeah, so I remember Shane Burgess saying I had chances against Phil Taylor, 170, 167, 141. But I think we're seeing a more mature Gary Anderson in his game. Like I said, he doesn't get rattled with himself. He's just plugging away. He's got a newborn, him and Rachel, so it's probably settled him down a little bit. Or made him more soppy, probably. Gary Anderson, a jock, soppy. Don't sound right, does it?
No, I'm not so sure. Gerwyn Price has got a chance here. This would be for a break and make it 4 all. 2 double tops.
Got to be.
Oh, he stayed there. He quite fancied, perhaps like the lie of that first dart.
Yeah.
But 76 isn't a gimme. He may only get one dart at a double. This may have to go. Well, he's going to get two. It's double 8. Oh, double 4. Oh, 2 missed darts at double, and this could be crucial. Gerwyn Price. He lost 4 legs on the spin. It looked like Gary Anderson had got a hold of this game and had control of it. But suddenly Gerwyn Price could find himself going 4-all. That is a long way off. And that's not much closer. It's taken a moment, the Welshman. Bends the wire.
A little bit of nerves there with them first 2 darts. They were absolute flyers as Anderson takes a 5-3 lead, and a little bit of luck there from Gary. Although he did have the first darts at the double. But that would have been to get the break back for Gerwyn.
And he would have been throwing for the lead in this one. I mean, that little passage of play there may be the most decisive bit of the match in terms of determining who goes through to face Wes Newton in the last 16.
134.
Yes, I mean, the first dart he threw at double top, it was so far away. He's thinking, oh, what's happened there? And he's got no range, no line or length, because it weren't even above the double. It's over the double 1, so...
He'd prefer it to have fallen out the board, really, rather than have it just stood there staring at him. In the end, his second dart was pretty closer to that than it was the double top.
I think you're exactly right, Dan. It's actually a good comment that if it had bounced out the board, he wouldn't have had to look at that dart. It's always the most important dart's your first one, because that's your range.
140.
Gerwyn Price is going to set this up. Gets down to 64, so he should have a dart to get 1 leg back. And then that 10th leg becomes crucial, but he's got to see this out. 64. Treble 16. Oh. He's only going to get 1 dart at a double, and it's at double top.
24.
Not been his friend today, double top. He's hit it once. And Gary Anderson, where's it going to be? The 15th now. How's he going to get that in? He's got to come right over to the left-hand side to find the bullseye. Oh, and he's caught the flight. And always going to be difficult after that first dart.
Well, as Gerwyn got the memory of the missed doubles high, and I was going to say it may go low with this one, but that's a good guide. That opens it up. Oh, he's hit the double 15. A little bit of nerves, a little bit of inexperience on the big sage. It's that Gerwyn Price is missing. But a good solid performance from Gary Anderson. He's stuck in there when he missed the doubles in the first 2 legs. And he won 6-3. Good performance.
Yeah, he's through to play Wes Newton, the number 15 seed. Gary Anderson was given a bit of a scare there by Gerwyn Price, who's acquitted himself well. It's been a relatively successful weekend for him. His first win on the European Tour. We may well be seeing a little bit more of this lad.